got it. Sophie.
Hey, welcome. This is Kitty Foss, Intuition of the Soul. So I invited my friend Joanne because we've been talking about this, about just jumping on tonight and talking about this next couple days as we head into 2024. And so we thought we'd just go live and play, and we often play on her channels and we repost it on this. So we're just doing it the opposite way, getting ready for this new year. And what's really interesting is today we have something called, I'm not seeing us live, so I'm
We
wondering.
are live. We
Oh,
are
we are.
there. Yep.
Oh,
We
there
definitely are live.
we had to refresh my page.
Yes.
And so I really wanted to talk about this interesting energy as we get into the formal 2024. Now, it's been really an interesting month because I started, and Joe Monkman in our twice a month we've been talking about, I've been very clearly told that we are in 2024's energy. And this month has been a preview. There's been a lot of extra portals. There's been a lot of extra shifting of energy. And today we had something called the Kazimi in Sagittarian energy, because we had all of our personal planets except the moon and the sun sitting in Sagittarius at one point today. And tomorrow, very interestingly enough, we have Jupiter going direct, and it goes direct at 9:40 p.m. tomorrow night to get ready. And of course, Jupiter is that planet of expansion, and ding, 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 the ruler of Sagittarius. So this is no accident. This is very much about this very daily energy that's over the next 24 hours. And then we add Jupiter coming direct. Jupiter will still be in Taurus, which is about stabilization and our values. But so there are new truths about our values, new expansion that we have been doing internally that goes direct tomorrow. And we've been feeling that shadow, definitely feeling what those truths are, what that information is. And when all of these personal energy planets, Mercury, which is retrograde, but it is retrograde dipped back into Sagittarius, and we have both Venus and Mars. Venus entered today into Sagittarius. That's a lot of truths, a lot of expansion, a lot of potential for traveling. And traveling can be physically traveling, but it also can be from where we are. So my guest, I invited Joanne to come play because we play often on her channels talking about that. And we have a very huge portal coming up, which I'm going to ask her to share about. So Joanne, tell us about yourself for anybody who doesn't know you. And folks, if you have any questions, just jump on in.
All right. For those who may not know me, known as Reverend Joanne Angel Barry Cologne, I go by many titles, and today's title would be the Holistic Integrative Teacher, Reiki
And she
Master,
does,
Part.
excuse me, she does nothing in short titles, short
No,
anything. So
no.
just so you know that. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. I'm a card creator, card reader. I'm also a licensed and certified holistic personal trainer, medical astrologer, and the list goes on. But that's basically where we're going to stop right now at that very moment. Yes, as Kitty holds up my cards, and those cards are available if in case. I love that card you just showed. Bring that
You
card
know,
back up a second because I think that's perfect.
I didn't even
Perfect.
I didn't even read it. Karmic completion, wasn't it?
Yes, karmic completion. And that is so perfect in regards to the energy, the portal, the master portal that we're about to experience at the end of the year, the very last day of the year on December 31st. If you write that number out, 12/31, 2023, we're just going to take that 20 and just place it out of the equation for just a moment and just write it out as 123, 123. That's a very powerful, potent portal that we're experiencing. It really is a once in a lifetime energy. We will never experience this energy again. The next time this energy will be close to what this portal is about is in 100 years from now. And why I say close to, because in theory, if you think about 100 years from now, that's going to put us in 3023. That 3 changes the whole energy aspects of the numbers. And if you know anything about numerology, and if you don't, I'll talk to you about it a little bit now. Every number has a specific vibration and meaning. and every number gets reduced down to a single digit, except for master numbers. And there's only 3 master numbers. I don't care what any other person tells you out there. There's only 3, and that's 11, 22, and 33. Those are your master numbers. There are other numbers called power numbers, and there are also numbers called portal numbers, which is what the month of December is, the 12. That's a portal energy. So anyway, going back to that 123, 123 energy, why it's such a massive energy and why it's a once in a lifetime experience is this energy is really going to reset. That's the big word in that karmic completion card that showed up. Is so perfect for this because it's going to reset every one of our psyches to be more aligned with abundance, our spiritual growth, our spiritual development, our transformations, our joy. I'm going to use that word 3 times. Joy, joy, joy. Because it's something that we are definitely worthy enough to receiving. And with this reset that's coming through, and we're all going to experience it, it is really about our transformation that we are going to see right in front of our own eyes. We're going to see ourselves transform. Just as, shall we say, the clock or the calendar, whichever way we want to look at it, turns and we move into that 2024 energy, we will never be the same again. So if you're really not sure of how this change is going to take place, take a look in the mirror the day of New Year's Eve, that 12/31. Take a look in the mirror, see yourself. Because when you look in the mirror on January 1st, you're going to see yourself in a very different way because your vibration is going to be extremely higher. Because we're going to really have a spiritual reset take place. That's going to allow, when we think of portal, it's the veil between the spiritual realm and the human realm that gets really thin. Now think about the veil that we hold on to. That veil is going to become really thin. And we will have the opportunity to connect with spirit afterlife with a much easier capacity. And at any given time, where many of us, if not all of us, and I hate to say it that way because it's not supposed to be politically correct, but many of us are going to activate our sense of hearing and sense of seeing, where we're going to be able to hear our loved ones who have crossed over. And we're going to be able to have multiple conversations with them. And it's going to be as though, just like Kitty and I are sitting together here, it's going to be similar. You'll be able to sit right next to that loved one that has crossed over, which up until now, you might not have been able to see. Come January 1st and going forward, you're going to start to see these visions become clearer and clearer. And that's that spiritual reset that we are all going to experience. Thankfully, not at the same time. And why do I say thankfully? Could you imagine if every one of us woke up on January 1st and had these abilities all at the same time? That's like a traffic jam. So little by little, people are going to start to feel these shifts going on. Little by little. Many of us are already there, like Kitty and I. We're already there. We're holding space. We're holding space. We're shining our light even brighter, so those who are walking into that energy won't feel scared because of that darkness. They're literally peeling the veil. So this energy, abundance, spiritual transformation, spiritual reset, the joy, your transformation, this whole journey that we've really been on, literally going back to the start of the pandemic, because that's really where this all started. If you really wanted to go back and reflect and say, well, when did this all start? Go back to the pandemic, when we were literally in a space of quietness, isolation. That's when our psyches took on this energy where we became more familiar with these portal aspects and just moving into this phenomena of energy that we're experiencing. So when we look at that 123, that 123 is reminding us that everything is in perfect order. And that when we think about it, it's like 1, 2, 3, go. And that's exactly what it is. And it works out that when you add those 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3 up, you get that 66 vibration. 6 is about the body resetting itself. 6 is about nurturing and healing. 6 is about the unconditional love that we're going to start to experience for ourselves and then expand it out. And I'm loving that number because it happens to be my personal energy year number that I'm moving into in 2024. So I'm ecstatic on this number. Now I'm going to turn it back to Kitty because she's going to actually chat with you a little bit about that sixth energy in astrology aspects. I can do it, but why not let her chat a little bit, right? So
Well,
Kitty, tell
and
us about that six.
well, and six is the sixth house. And what's really interesting is the only natal energy that Pluto in this very long transit it's going to go to as it goes into Aquarius. And that's a very important understanding. This Pluto that's going into Aquarius dipped into it this year, will be going into it for most of next year. And then after that, will stay in Aquarius for a good portion. You know, by the time it moves, I'm going to be in my 80s again. It's actually, let me be accurate, closer to 90. Um, that's a very interesting energy because the only house that Pluto is natally transiting is six. It's the house of Virgo. It is the house of all of the smaller pieces, all of the as below, the patterns. And that's one reason we wanted to come on tonight, because we're talking about the Sagittarian truce that over this, especially next couple days, that are arising for you. Here's what I want to say to you: joy, 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 believe it. Believe that you can access it. This month has been a preview of that. We have literally entered into 2024, but we were in the foyer, let's call it, of 2024. But it was the energy, and there's been an ability to tap into a great joy. And we've also been being pulled in our other understandings. So for a lot of people, this month has been like, kind of that feeling when the dog hits you in the face with the tail. What is this? What is this? It's so unusual. But the truths that are coming through for you, the belief for you to tap into, especially previewing over this next couple of days, is about all of those smaller pieces, and also the house of service, six, falling into place, really coming to fruition, seeing the patterns that I have created that I can let go of. We had a very powerful moon in this as a precursor to this. We had a full moon in Cancer, the second full moon in Cancer of the year. First one was in January. We started the year with nurturing, and we took out the moon with nurturing at the end of the year, and really, really letting go of those things that are just in our way of joy and understanding. And yes, around you, it may appear that things are going a little cattywampus. And what the cattywampusness is bringing people's attention to holding different space. And so that's why we wanted to come play with this today. This is truth. What is really speaking to you? And then to boot, we have the Libra South node. We have the node, which is about our soul's growth that we are moving away from. It says my internet is unstable, so we'll find out. That we're moving away from. It's a great amount of energy we're talking about. That about beliefs that we have been taught, oh, this is the way life is. No, it's not. No, it's not. It really is. So I hope I'm not freezing. It really is about what we've been taught is not necessarily the truth we want to live our life by. And so what an amazing opportunity. I love that it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That we are 1, 2, 3, lift off, karmic reset, doing something different. It is so important. So I'm absolutely thrilled, and it's not surprising me with Mercury still retrograde, folks, going direct on the 1st, that there's glitching. I can see that my words are coming through, but not always my picture. And it is and we're moving into an 8. And Joanne, can you talk to us about what 2024's 8? Because we're kind of in it right now, that energy.
Yes, yes. It's pretty much similar to that 1, 2, 3 energy about the abundance. When we speak of 8 in numerology, it is about the abundance, it's about harmony, balance. It's the year for achievements, the year for recognition. And I emphasize the word recognition because it really is about you being seen, you being heard, you being the one where people are going to say, this is the one I heard this information from. So you're going to be recognized. You're going to be held responsible for what it is you're sharing out there. It's about fame. It's about success. It is about the whole process of the infinity and the possibilities that are going to show up. It is definitely about your transformation in regards to whatever, however you feel or hold on to the energy of success and fame. If success and fame gives you a yucky taste in your mouth, this may be the time again you're going to reset whatever the reasons to why fame and success makes you feel yucky. You're going to reset that energy and you're going to be more aligned with fame and success, because that's this energy we are moving into, the abundance. Now, I share with my clients that even though we're changing the calendar from 2023 to 2024, and 2024 carries this 8 energy of abundance, harmony, balance, stability, the achievements, the awards, the recognition, be mindful that you do need to shift your energy so you can bring that in. It's not just going to magically appear under your pillow like the tooth fairy came and dropped off $1 to you. You have to be doing your work. You have to be ready to shift perspectives and see things in abundance, see things as balance, see things as in harmony. So this energy that we do move into in 2024, it's not about the focus of, oh, things are just not working out, and oh, I have to share my story of the old phenomena. We don't want to hear your stories, people. We're done. We storytelling in regards to digging down into the root and really working on healing your story. We've had 8 years to do that. We don't need to do that anymore. Our stories are done. We have evolved from our stories. So whatever your story is, if you think 2024 is really about sharing your story so you can work on healing from it, you've done the healing work. You're really ready to move into the abundance and tap into the gifts that you have, so you can, I'm going to use this term, you can help others, not in reference to helping them heal, because we've all done that already. This is really about just being this gigantic energy of just being able to spread out the joy and to experience that joy in this lifetime for whatever time you have left in this lifetime, to experience joy. We've struggled, and being a Pisces, I very well know about struggling. I very well know, because I have that 4 vibration in my my day that I'm born, that hard work, and I gotta work diligently enough to get to where I gotta go. I've done that already. I have this whole new mindset that no, things are going to be easy. I was just telling Kitty before that the last couple of days I've been in R&R mode. Rest and rejuvenate. That's what I've been doing. Not rushing, not hustling. Those words are old. And I'm going to do a whole live about resetting our word factors that are higher vibration words, because that's the energy we're going to be in. It's no longer about, oh, poor Joanne.
Well, and I'm going to challenge you not even to use higher, use expanded vibration, because higher has a judgment around it.
There we go. Somehow. Expanded. I like that. Expanded vibration.
It's our and that what you're talking about is exactly, it's not that the traumas didn't happen to you. I actually saw something very interesting today. I saw a little blurb with Stephen Colbert and his mother was Gloria Vanderbilt. I'm spacing his name. But anyway, it was.
I can't help you because I don't know.
If somebody remembers here, they can say it. Yes. And anyway, he said to Stephen Colbert, did you really say that what you wish hadn't happened to you is the most important learning thing? And he said, well, I don't know if it's the most important, but what he said is, if I have gratitude for my life, I have gratitude for those things I wish hadn't happened to me, but I learned from it. And he goes, and it gives me that perspective of the joy of what I learned from it. I don't need to do it again. I still am not letting go of I wish it hadn't happened to me, that it had, and it's not the but, and it is about that ability to look at all of these little pieces of our life and live those experiences from a different understanding. It's not that the traumas or things that your story, it's how are you telling your story? How is that story coming forth if you're really helping someone? Is it from, the point of how you don't wish it happened and it was horrible, or is it from, and from there I was able to take my strength and now I'm able to have a different perspective. It is so important that we really pay attention to our words, our thoughts, our ability to understand we have the control on how we react. And here's that 6 again. What do we do with the smaller pieces? Do we put them together and make a horrible story? Or do we say, oh, I hold the components of both pieces of what happened to me, the horror of it and what I've learned from it. I can still not want it to have happened to me, and that's all right. That's my human. And what do I do with it from here? It's a very exciting time to be in this hallway. And so here we've had this great nurturing of truths that step forth, where my truth, how I understand life really is when I believe it in this moment. It's not about the future. It's about me paying attention to those things that create my life and surrendering some of the other stuff that I completely can take control of, is because that's not happening. So if I'm enjoying each moment, the moments become more enjoyable,
Yes.
you know.
Yes. And it's interesting because what I'm hearing in regards to everything you're just saying, going back to not needing to share our trauma stories anymore, because we've moved into a space of that forgiveness to the traumas. And one of the reasons why it's not necessary to share it anymore, because we are in this more harmony and balanced energy stability, it's because if we should share our trauma stories, it means we are still holding on to that energy, which that prevents us from moving into that harmony and balance and the abundance.
Don't you
So
think
we
it's
need,
how we share those stories, though, that is the difference? Are we?
yes, if we're sharing them in a space of gratitude and forgiving, then yes, the vibration is higher. However, if we're sharing them in the space of we're still in that need to heal from them, we're holding that lower vibration, which then means we're not able to really reach
Here I
into
go, challenge you again. Denser vibration.
denser vibration. Yes, denser vibration,
Hard
which
to
means
see the light in the denseness. Yep.
yes, which means we have a challenging time getting into that abundance, because abundance means expansion. And to expand, we need everything about us has to expand. Our thought process, our words, who we're connecting with. So again, as we move into 2024, it is about shifting where we're going to start attracting people of different energies. So if you still are holding the trauma story, you're going to continue to attract people that's in that denser energy. Whereas if you want to go into the abundance and the expansion, you want to shift that whole frequency. So you start attracting people that's going to bring you up. You want people to bring you up. Your story was to connect with people who needed your support so they too can be raised. Now, at this point, it's about you connecting with people who can bring you up so you then can expand. And that's just this energy. What's the word I'm looking for? Platform, I guess, where we're elevating, and
Scaffolding.
yes, yes. And that's what this energy is. It is about an expansive, abundant vibration. And to receive abundance, we have to be in abundance. We have to be in that gratitude. We have to be in the excitement. I think Joe said, I want to see if I could grab my notes. There you go. One of the words Joe, our good friend Joe, used during a session that Kitty and I worked with him on was extraordinary. In fact, there were three words: extraordinary, fun, and joy. And those three words could really be the words we use for 2024, because it is really going to be an extraordinary year of energy where things are going to be so strong, so powerful, so exciting that we're literally going to be jumping out of bed every day looking for the extraordinary. Like, wow, where is it? I'm excited. Bring it in. Open your arms wide so we can receive, because a lot of us are moving also into that feminine energy of receiving, because a lot of us spend a lot of energy in our masculine of constantly doing.
And this isn't about toxic positivity. This is not
No.
about denial. When you are sad, and by the way, neurologically, feelings only last 90 seconds.
Yes.
We just feel them but our human manager, what I call our ego that tries to manage us and help us and make us survive, tries to find a pattern to put it into, and becoming aware of, again, we're going back to those patterns, those little pieces, that 6 energy in the 8 of change is, all right, I do feel sad and I'm just going to feel that feeling. And now I'm going to tap into, in this moment, nothing is really wrong in this moment. And where do I go from there? So it is, I love the word extraordinary because it doesn't have a judgment around it. Joy doesn't have a judgment around it. These are feelings and ways to be. And when it's our judgment to find patterns, and that's very human, it's not about uh, just smiling and rainbows and, it's about integrating our shadow and understanding it doesn't lead the way, nor does, and that's why I like dense and expanded, because when things expand, I can find the direction, I can see the light that I want to go in. And when things are dense, and I need things to be dense because no, not need, I prefer to find the light in the dark. And so it's an interesting time. I like the word interesting, just like extraordinary. Um,
Yes.
because I go on with it. And just this interesting Sagittarian energy to take us into this next year is fascinating. Very much about expanding truths and understanding that it is bigger than we understand. And that's okay. That when I stay present, it's a present. I'm in the moment. I'm able to only spend the 90 seconds on the what energy that shows up, and then say, and now where am I going? And what's the action? It's such a, we had this very nurturing full moon, powerful because it was Cancer, about letting go. And now we're sitting here in these truths, and I'm looking, and tomorrow the planet of expansion goes direct. It
Yeah.
starts to bring us that.
Exactly. And when you speak of sitting in the emotions for the 90 seconds, it's a perfect picture of that 8 energy of balance. Because again, understanding that when we are sad, it helps us to appreciate when we are happy. And it also gives us the opportunity to ask ourselves, again, not assigning what the sadness is. And I learned that word from Kitty, not assigning it a title. So when we're sad, we don't have to sit back and give a story to why we're sad. We can just turn around and say, well, I'm feeling sad right now. And if we just allow it just to be for the 90 seconds, it will subside. However, and you can also create a different vibration with it by saying, I'm feeling sad and I'm choosing to feel happy, or I'm choosing to feel joy. And that gives you that balance between the two. You recognize your sadness, so this is not about discarding the emotions and pushing it down or pushing it away. Definitely not. But it is about giving yourself that permission and recognizing that you are the creator. You get to create a different feeling if you
A
choose
different
to.
pattern that you're going to put with it. Yes,
Yes. And
very much.
just as it is to focus on being sad about something, you could stay still focused on that energy of whatever made you sad and think about something about that that made you happy. in that same thing. So it's not even like you have to go tell yourself a whole different story. You can stay focused on that experience and think about, well, how can I change this from a sad to a happy? Something in that experience could have been a happy experience as well. And it allows you to create a different energy and move into that abundance a lot quicker
And
than
and
we
they're
spend our time.
right, and they're just feelings.
Yes.
And so I don't even have to give them a name, sad, happy. It's a feeling. It's not my most comfortable. I'm going to feel it and then make the decision. For me, and this is just the way I came to realize a little bit more about it. And certainly I don't walk this road. There are old patterns here that I'm becoming more and more aware of. But I realized that when I was having a strong feeling, if my thoughts came in from my left side, I knew they were looking for a pattern. And so I've actually learned to do something that's been very helpful for me when I have these other thoughts that starts to come in. I do the little thing, I take a breath and I say, I wonder what my next thought will be. And for me, that turns off my thoughts. Then I say, well, I think that we're done with this now. Or I pick something that is, and everything is all right in this moment. Um, like when I wake up in the middle of the night and have a worry about money or something, to remember, wonder what my next thought is going to be. And in this next moment, it's a powerful tool because almost nothing comes when you take the breath and say, I wonder what my next thought is, because it's taking our thought patterns apart. And that's why it becomes very important for the words we use in our head as well as outside. Uh, it these are truths. These are truths that are stepping forward for you. Believe them. And the
Yes.
minute I start to include other people in it, then I've left truth and I've gone to judgments. And I, you know, um, as you've heard me say 1,000 times, my own life is barely my business. Who am I to be talking about everybody else's life? And
Yes, yes. And as I say it, I refer to this all the time. We, as humans, we're really good storytellers. We will literally tell ourselves a story of what our perception is to whatever's going on with somebody else. We will literally say, well, this is happening. And it's like, well, do you know that to be true?
mhm.
Chances are you don't. It's a story we make up in our head for whatever the reasons are because we are good storytellers.
It's a pattern. It's what a story is. A story has a beginning, a middle, and end. It has characters. It has all of those things. And
I have a client when I work out with her, she'll say to me, "Can I share a story with you?" And she laughs all the time when I give her the answer, and I say, "No, I do not want to hear your story." And she giggles to like this little kid that just like a little kid giggles. She giggles and she's like, "I really can't share my story." It's like, "No, not today. Let's go back to your set." At some point in her workout, if she really wants to, then she shares it. But it's like, why do you need to share the story? How is that story right now going to enhance what you're doing right now? And that's the thing we also want to pay attention to as well. The stories we're sharing, is the story going to impact where you are right now, or are you pulling a story out of your little story box and thinking about something that happened like 12 years ago that you want to bring to the table for whatever the reasons are, because maybe a memory came in from whatever it is you're doing, because those things do happen, those little flashes
well,
that show
especially
up.
when you're doing something physical, because you might be moving something out and saying, huh, wonder why this is coming with this movement. And
Yes.
and it is, there's nothing wrong with our stories as long as we're the hero of them and not
Yes.
a victim of them. And
Yes, and as long as your story doesn't make you go down that rabbit hole where you start getting frustrated about something that might have happened
or
20 years ago.
or acknowledge you're going down the rabbit hole. I'm jumping down the well, but I'm bringing in an umbrella and a flashlight so that I can look at this and know that that's
Yes,
what I am doing versus it
yes,
overwhelms me. And, here I go down the well, Mary
yep,
Poppins myself down there. And, uh, and sometimes it is to feel so it's so interesting because here, this Sagittarian energy, I'm going to keep coming back to it, is so much about what truths are mine and what I've gotten from other people. my experiences are my experiences. They're not the same. In life and death, they are not the same. And yet I'm part of this more collective energy. And it's all right to have my own story, my own path, my own hero's journey. And it was not going to look like anyone else's. And being in this very moment is allowing me the joy, the space of this very moment. And as we move into Jupiter being direct, what expansion do you want to bring yourself? It, where is the expansion you're asking in these truths to step forward? I know I'm working on surrendering, inviting it in to go, all right, brain, we're done today. Like, you know, uh, I'm just going to surrender to whatever is happening. And these magical things start to happen in my very physical existence. Now, I've been able to be in those magical things when I take myself out of this realm, but I am trying to integrate my body. I'm 63 years old. It's about damn time, huh? You know,
As they say in the physical realm of things, as a personal trainer, holistic personal trainer, age is just a number, and doesn't matter when you get started. The idea is to get started. So if you start when you are 12, like I did, or you start when you're 65, it doesn't matter when you start. The idea is just to start, because there are benefits of starting. That opposite of that is once you get started, don't stop, because again, it's this process that, as I say to many clients when they come to me, and they literally do ask this question, well, how long do I have to do this for? And I'm like, this is lifestyle. From the moment you start, this is something you're going to want to do consistently, a couple of times a week, for a duration of time per day, until you stop breathing. This is a lifestyle. And of course, they just give me that grunt, like, oh, like it's not just like a 12-week process and then I can stop. No, this is a lifestyle, because there's actually more harm to the body when you start it and then stop it. There's actually harm to the body. You actually harm your heart every time you start an exercise regimen and stop and do not continue. It literally damages the heart. So that's why it's so important that if you're going to start up, and it doesn't matter what age you start, you're still going to get the benefits that you would get whether you started when you were 12 or 60, 65, or even older. I mean, I've had clients come to me at 80 years old. I had this cute little woman. Oh my gosh, she was so adorable. She was just about maybe 4'9". Oh, sweetest as pie. She came to me. She actually was working out in the gym and, well, wanting to join the gym, and she was looking for a personal trainer because her doctor suggested she needed to start working out. And he said to her, I advise you to work out with a trainer because you're going to need supervision, and you're going to need someone that's going to make sure you're doing it correctly so you do not get hurt because you are 80. So she met me. And when I asked her, I had to ask her age because I was like, she's just this adorable little thing. And when she told me she was 80, I'm like, wow. I said, wow. She goes, am I too old to start? I said, oh no, you're never too old to start. She worked with me for 10 years. Oh my God, the confidence, the sassiness to this woman. Oh my goodness gracious. May she rest in peace, because she did cross over on her, I think it was her 95th birthday. But oh my gosh, she was amazing. But the fact that she started at 80 and she was motivated to do it. So Kitty, there's no such thing as you're too old to start.
oh no, and it's not even a start. I mean, for the amount of time it's taken that time to get here. And what's really interesting is you really never go backwards, especially in your awakening. You might stall yourself for a while. Um, you know, a truth I don't want to use that word, we've used it a lot today. A truth I have recently embraced is the fact that not everybody wants to have a better life, wants to deep dive into uncovering this, wants to, or feels, or wants to tackle their own beliefs, is really what it is. They are have, I don't want to say happy, but they have chosen to have the world tell them how and where to go forward. And I thought about it recently about, could I ever go back to some of those beliefs of this is the way things are supposed to be? And the truth was, I never felt those things anyway. So they were always an internal conflict. And so this time of truth coming forward and different realities for people, truly embracing that, there was a piece of me that thought everybody must want to deep delve. Nah, no,
Yeah,
they don't.
I've said that to myself too. I'm like, well, why wouldn't everybody want to do this? But it's like Kitty says, I mean, not everybody wants to go into this deep dive because I think
I
Joe
don't
said
know
it
why.
best.
I don't know why they didn't choose it in this path. And that's,
Yeah,
you do
yeah,
you.
exactly.
Thank you, Daphne. Best line I've learned through most of my life. You do you.
Yeah,
And
exactly. Not everybody's going to go down this journey in this lifetime. In
right.
this lifetime. Notice I say that in this lifetime. Because as long as we've chosen to be here in this reincarnation, we have work to do. I was listening to a woman, her name is Dolores Kane. I'm sure you're familiar with her. And she was
Dolores
speaking
Cannon?
about, yeah, Cannon, thank you. And she speaks about the Earth School, in reference to like in Earth School, there's no skipping grades. Like, in like our human world school where some
Oh, yeah,
children
nobody skips a
skip,
grade? Yeah.
you know, where in Earth School we don't skip a grade. We have to complete the lesson of whatever it is for that chapter before we can move on to the next thing, which is the patterns that we have in our lives, our truths, recognizing the stories we tell ourselves, so we can be where we are comfortably until we can recognize that, does that really hold true for me now? And if it doesn't hold true for me now, maybe I'm ready to learn the lesson of it, and that will allow me to move on.
Well, it's
And
interesting.
that's
It's interesting you say that because I read Sarah Brespin, COSME. I say her name wrong. And I know a couple of people actually that know her. And I'm putting it out there. I really want to meet her. But anyway, she does Dolores Cannon's QHHT work. And she had her last book, The Trail of the from the Trail of Tears, the Star People. In one of her last sessions, she writes about um, one of her people talks about in the session that what you're saying is so much a universal truth that as the earth evolves and people still are choosing to have that more dense expression journey, they will be on a different planet because at some point the earth will not be there anymore and this will not be the place to go through those grades. I found that fascinating,
oh
absolutely.
yes,
And that was the really beginning of, so there are really people that this just isn't their choice. I
yes,
always
yeah.
thought if, there was traumas that got in their way, no, it's just literally, it's not their choice. It's not what they're here to do. And I've talked to you recently. I have a different truth around karma. I will no longer say karma will get them. That's not mine to say. It's about the energy exchange. And karma is such a sophisticated idea and yet simple that my human manager does not comprehend it. Energetically, I'm understanding it very much differently. And this is part of this grade journey, however we want to say it. I mean, we look for words for ideas that are so much.
And
Um,
and I love that you bring the word karma in, and of course the card that popped in,
oh, that's
right
right.
away,
Back,
that
back
karmic
to the beginning.
completion.
Karmic
Yes.
completion. Yeah.
When we think about, as we are moving into the eighth vibration of 2024, 1 year later in 2025, we move into a 9 vibration energy universal year. And a 9 universal energy year is really what we call a review of the last 9 years of our lives, which means many of us will be going through a karmic reset. So many of us are going to be graduating from whatever the class we are in Earth School to the next chapter of our lives. So the next phase of our, whatever word we want to use. But many of us are going to be moving into the next frequency, moving into the higher density, a higher dimensional energy as we go through this karmic energy field.
Well, and this divine, it started in March, and each cycle in this year has a new understanding of divinity. Each sun cycle we've gone through. And personally, I have an 11 next year, and I have also I don't even know what the word is for it, but astrologically, my solar year is exactly the same as the basic solar pattern we all share. And so it's a very, very strong year of how my relay system works with the energy that comes in.
And I want to throw something out there, because you mentioned that you have an 11 energy year, and many who are in your group may understand what that means, but yet those who might be watching this when I share it out may not understand that 11 energy year. Again, going back to numerology, those three numbers that are master numbers, 11, 22, 33, what Kitty is going to be holding in the 2024 energy of that 8 abundant energy is she's going to be in her master healing vibration. So in 2024, for her, she's mastering her healing potentials is what she's going to be experiencing in the 8 vibration. Mastering. It's not about she's got to do healing work. She's mastered it. And that's that 11 energy in the 8 vibration. If this was a different energy, so for example, if somebody has an 11 vibration in 2023, which is the 7, they would be still working on being the master of healing, because the 7 vibration is the spiritual journey, is evolving and discovering themselves. So they are healing things that are showing up. Being that Kitty's 11 is in an 8 vibration, she's mastered her healing. Now it's really about her teaching all that she's learned about herself to her students, so they too can master what they need to heal. So that's Kitty's role in 2024.
And 11 is one of my life journey numbers too. So
yes, because 11 is all over your chart.
Yeah. For those people who might not know, I'm born 11/11 in the 11th hour of the day, and I have 8, which is Scorpio number on the chart. I have a stellium in Scorpio, and in the 11th house is where Scorpio is on my chart. So, and the fact that next year is a pattern year, is the astrological pattern year. Very powerful year when you are. Now, some people have their whole life aligned like that, looking at their circuitry. And this is energy. This is what we're talking about, whether we measure it in numbers, astrology, intuition, and there are different pieces of energy that we all work with. All right, let's pull some cards, because it's 8:17 and we've been two talking heads for a while, and I got a separate deck because now I received a new deck.
Yes.
But I haven't.
And what I like to also add in regards to, for my personal energy number of the 6, what makes it so magical for me is that my life path number is 6. So this year coming up is going to be a really powerful year for me, because it's not just about the personal energy, it's about how it's mirroring my life path's purpose. So it's a big year for me.
And at my I was talking to a friend of mine who's a seer, and we are coming into the year of the dragon. And of course, the dragon, been in the year of the white rabbit, which has been about not just healing. It's been about, it is healing, but it's also about how white rabbits are, specifically a water rabbit, and about the emotions and how we've gone through this year. And we're moving to the dragon, the year of the dragon, the mythical creature that walks us between all kinds of realms. So these new cards I have are called the Golden Keys of Merlin activation cards. They're by my friend Carly, who she sent them to me. Bless you, Carly. Carly Jane. She's over in England. So I have no, now there is a PDF that's going to go with them, but I'm going to pull one and I want everyone to feel into what it means for them. I'm not even going to interpret it except for myself. And Joanne, I'm going to ask you to feel what it feels. So let's have a message for this voyeur. What is that what's called? Right. The entranceway that we're standing in. And it is the keys. Look at that.
Oh, that's such a perfect card.
Look at the number. 6.
Is that 5?
1 and 5.
15. Oh, 6. Ah, yeah, 6.
Here we are back to that 6 portal gateway we've been talking about.
Yes.
And this is the message to me. We're holding the keys. And look at the colors.
And it's perfect because when we think about the key, as I refer to the portals, it's the cosmic doorway.
Okay.
That literally opens the key. The key opens that portal.
So, and the card that's sitting on top that usually goes with it is the cosmic forces.
We can't make this stuff up.
We cannot make this stuff up, can we?
Yes. And the portals that we are connecting and opening are really the portals to our new relationships that we are experiencing.
Look at that. And it's a 1, it's a beginning.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
You know, and grounding our energy so we can be in that space to receive all the energy of this 8 vibration year.
And look, that's a 2 and an 8. So yeah.
Yes. Yeah, very powerful. And when you speak on the Chinese dragon energy, Chinese New Year falls on February 10th. So let's talk again, that 10 energy, perfectly aligned. Another opportunity for reset, another new year. Like I myself celebrate the Chinese New Year. So it's another new year for me, another day to remind myself that whatever I have not reset between New Year's Eve, Chinese New Year, and then of course I'll have my birthday to follow, which is my another reset. I have 3 opportunities to really bring it all together to really expand into this energy.
It's you know, we are in this energy, and that's what this is. This is a lot of what the truths are. We're taking them right into the next year. And one of my words for this year is confidence and courage. Having the courage to live those and allow myself to believe. And that's my 3rd word for this year, believe. And so those are words that guide me. My words for this year were guidance, compassion, and clarity.
And we don't make this up. Self-love, and that 10 again.
There's your 10 again. Right. And of course, this is root chakra stuff. This is what we ground ourselves in, and we ground ourselves in our truth. That is one of the biggest things we can do to ground ourselves. What is it I value? What is the truth here? That allows me the expansion. It's not up here. It's being here. We took a human experience. We took a divine human experience. Some of us took a different kind of human experience coming through this time. All right, and I'm going to grab now. The only other cards I have out are yours.
Feel free.
I never pull yours with you. My other favorite.
We cannot hear you. You're away from your mic.
Here we go. One of my other favorite decks, besides Avalon Spirit, is this one called The Magic of You. And 2 years ago, one of my words was magic. And I remember it's now always comes in 3s. Magic, 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 magic. It's from part of it's the song. I love this card. It's called Vertigo.
And I have another key.
Yeah, it's another key. So it goes right with Carly Jane's the keys of Merlin, the keys of magic. I didn't even make that connection when I pulled this deck out, is wherever you choose, you will be correct. And you can't make this up. This is 35. It's an 8. For next year, there is your guidance. Vertigo, wherever you choose is the key. You will be correct. I'm going to take a picture of this one. what a wonderful message for this year. All right, you got a final card for us, Joanne?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Let's see what that final card is. It going to keep the energy flowing. Let's see. I love when keys show up because it means there's opportunities that are coming in.
You need to unlock them.
Yes. And it doesn't matter which door you open, because reality of it all is there's an opportunity behind all of them.
Wherever you choose, you will be correct.
Exactly. Do not spend so much time trying to figure out which door, which door, which door. Now, this card shows in reverse, and it makes sense to why it shows in reverse. It's about health. It's about health. It's that 33. It's that sacral energy, which is perfectly aligned with our Sagittarius energy, because Sagittarius is associated with sacral and the health. Now,
And it's a
I'm sure
master number.
Yeah, I'm sure you've all heard this expression. Health is the new wealth. Do not take your health for granted. It is so important to take care of yourself. Take care of yourself in reference to when you need to rest. Take care of yourself for when you need to fuel. Take care of yourself when you need to feed. Make sure you're hydrating your body, because that is really what's going to keep you from feeling stiff. It's getting your water. That 33 is the master creator, master sacrifice. Sacrificing something so you can be healthy. And that may just mean, rather than going and do an extra live, go spend 20 minutes and just sit on the couch and do nothing. Because by doing nothing, you're doing something. So that's our card, and it follows pursuit, because that 33, even though it's a master number, still carries the same meaning of the 6, the unconditional love. Take care of yourself in 2024.
Take care of yourself. And the one thing I didn't say when Cosmic Forces came out with the keys, it's an 8. So this is the universe. This is the bigger energy. Take care of yourself. What decisions you make will unlock where you need to be. They are the keys. Yes. Well, Joanne, thank you so much for coming on and playing and talking and getting philosophical with me. And we enjoy this. It is fine to come and chat with people and to be in the moment, be whatever you want it to be, Yes. I think we can just leave it there. So
yes, embrace the 8, embrace your transformation, embrace the change.
You have the key.
Abundance. Yes.
You have the key. So that 8th house is being unlocked for you. And the 8th house is transformation. It's the dive in to find the light, to expand, find the light. So very cool. All right. Thanks a lot. And keep over the next couple days, we'll be posting some different things from people talking about 2024. It should be fun. If you have a thought or something you want to share for 2024, please post it on Intuition of the Soul. You never know who will understand exactly what it is that you're bringing. Start your joy now. Share. Namaste. Thank you very much, everyone. Take care.
Namaste.
Bye-bye.